Good morning, girls. Heading out to the garden. So normally I let them come out with me because I can watch them good, but since I'm videoing, I won't be able to pay attention to them so much. But they like to help me pull weeds. So if I'm pulling weeds, they like to start digging. And well, Pearl does anyway. Precious just kind of wanders around and checks on things, keeps everything working right, and making sure everybody's doing their job around here. That's her job. She's the Pekingese. So I got my new net. This thing has been a lifesaver. It's not so bad here in the garden, but once you get out in the blackberry bushes and things, the gnats and just whatever. So it's been really helpful, and I was surprised about how well this net works. And that's kind of one of the things that's cool about getting a little bit older is, you know, you just don't care what it looks like so much. But yeah, it helps me do my job out here a lot better. So let's take a look at the garden, see what's going on. Everything's growing beautifully. So as you can see, the eggplant, so many beautiful flowers on it, but also hiding under here, which is where it should be, are all the little eggplants. And I've told you before, this is my first year growing eggplants, so it's a learning process. I'm not sure if I should prune some of those off or not, or just let it go. We'll just see what happens and learn from there. Of course, the tomatoes are going good. I spent last weekend tying them up, pruning them, and everything's looking amazing. We had just enough little rain yesterday, so things are growing well. Pumpkins are going good. And then our cabbage is starting to flourish. I did need to use a little product on them to take care of any cabbage worms, anything like that. And since I've done that, they're gone, and the little cabbages are growing nicely. So that's good. And Oscar just checked in with his mom about how we can properly ferment them, so I'm excited about that. And these are all the varieties of peppers, so many, and you can see in there just a little, it's hard to see, I know, on a phone, but there we go. So just kind of starting to see that happening. We are supposed to get some rain today, so that's always hit and miss, though. Can't count on it. So if I don't get it today or tomorrow, we'll come out and water. But the cucumbers have gone crazy. Now, it's a lot of cucumbers, and I do pickle them. But then also we use them for our juices. So let's take a look in here. So we make a good juice every morning. There's a little guy right there. Yeah, there's about 20 of them in here that I can see so far, and I think in the next 2 to 3 days they'll all be ready to pick, and that'll be great. But what we are picking today is our squash. Squash is going crazy, and for the 4th of July we're going over to my daughter's house, and my son and his wife are going to make squash blossoms for us, so that's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so let's take a look at the squash. So I came out here yesterday and picked, but you can see how much is growing in there. I'm going to go ahead and pick that one. In fact, let's just go ahead and do that. So some people like to cut them. I just give them a little twist, and it comes right off just like that. See, that color is just incredible, and you know, nothing on here but just the plants, the soil and the water. Didn't use any fertilizer or anything, just let the plants do their thing. And as you can see, there's a lot more in here. And these are the squash blossoms we'll come out and pick those the morning, the 4th of July, put them in the refrigerator, and then my son and his wife are going to cook those up for us. So I used to have this wicker basket that I like to use, and I had it for about 10 years, and it saw its last year. So I have this new plastic one. I think it'll hold up a little bit better. Plus it's quite a bit bigger, so I think that it's gonna help me out here with this garden, since I have so much produce this year, because everything's just looking great. This is the spaghetti squash, so you can kind of see there's one coming up nice and pretty, and there's some more. Let's see what we got in here. Just be patient with me a little bit. There we go. There's a nice big one. We'll just let it keep growing and getting bigger and bigger. But this will help with our vegetables intake. And then, like I said, Oscar's mom is going to help us with knowing how to ferment that cabbage, because she was here last summer. She stayed for about 2 months, maybe a little bit longer, and so she helped me with a lot of the things in the garden, the flowers and the roses, and then, you know, as we'd bring in the produce, she fermented it, and then we just really enjoyed it all year long. In fact, it didn't last all year long. I should say we enjoyed it until it was gone. But that was really a treat. So we're learning how to do that ourselves. And preserving it is just great. I mean, because you know those winter months when you just can't get a fresh tomato, but you open up some that you've canned, and they hold their flavor just wonderfully. You don't have that kind of white mealy tomato that you get in the winter from the grocery stores. So again, the pumpkins, and I see Pearl. Let's take a look at Pearl, because she's just always fun to look at. So there they are. You can see the garden's not that far away from the house. Hey, Pearl. And there we have Precious, looking completely uninterested as usual. Alright, let's take a look at a couple other things. So here behind me we have some of the blackberry bushes that I've had on my property for a little while. Before I bought this other property, I'll take you over there. But they are doing really well. These are the thornless variety, and I planted these probably about 5-6 years ago, and I've moved them all over around the yard, and I've also sold quite a bit of the canes, and trying to keep it under control here. I won't have to do that next year because I have a lot more space. But just a little trellis here to get them up and going. But no, I'm really happy with the way these have always tasted amazing, and they're just a beautiful addition. And they, you know, you pick them and they just keep producing and keep producing all summer. And the fact that they're thornless is super awesome as well. So way over there by the garage, that's where we were with the blackberries. And then again, this is the additional property here. Things are going really well. Hey, puppies. And then this is the blackberry patch I inherited from the wonderful people that we are purchasing this land from. And there's still quite a bit of cleaning out to do. My weed eater broke, so that has waylaid me a little bit getting in there. I've done a lot by hand, but it's getting fixed. I should have it in the next couple of days or so. But you can see it's a little different variety, a little bit smaller, and sometimes the smaller ones have a little bit tartar taste. And so it's nice to mix things like that. See a little different vitamins, a little bit different taste, and sometimes you can create something that's not so tart, not so sweet, and mix it up so it's just right. And I would imagine these being a little bit smaller are be really nice for pies, cobblers, nice and tart. But you can see it's a pretty big patch. And I will tell you, we had an issue here. You can see right here, these Japanese beetles. Horrible little pest. So, and here's what they do to the leaves. They just destroy them. So the best way, and I had these on my Japanese maple trees out front, and rose bushes, and the apple trees. I mean, just everything that you know, of course they don't eat the weeds, but neem oil, just spray it right on them, spray the plants with it. Want to be careful, like, not to spray it when your plants are flowering, because you don't want to interrupt the bees. It's not necessarily great for them at all. So you need to do it like now. There's no flowers really over here, and I could spray them. In fact, when it cools down a little bit tonight, I will. It's pretty hot right now. So you can see just an abundance here, but still, abundance or not, these little guys, they have got to go. All right, so that'll be part of the job. And I'll tell you, it was so much more infested with those things. And I learned that they have no natural predators. I didn't know that, you know. So it's not like the birds are going to eat them, or frogs, or anything like that. They're just going to continue to multiply unless we take care of them. And that's what I intend to do. And part of it too, I mean, they're pests and all, but keeping the garden area cut down with, you know, just all the extra vegetation that you don't need, I think will make a big difference. So just to kind of show you too some of the other things here that's growing. Now, this is growing, but it's not very attractive. So this is the future chicken coop, which we will need to do some repair work, but it's got a great start, you know. And like one of the earlier videos I made, you just take what you have and you use it and get started, and then you improve upon it and get it better and better over time. And that's always so much better, I think, than just not starting. You know, go ahead and get started, correct your mistakes as you go. But so some chickens will have a great time clearing this out, because last time I showed you, I think it was pretty much it had just been mowed. There wasn't much in there but some blueberry bushes. And so yeah, they'll have a little bit of a heyday when we get them moved in. And I was talking to somebody that the fall would be a good time, since I missed the winter, and just let them grow, and then around February or so, I think, is when the eggs come in. And then lastly, grapevine. Again, you can see the beetles are having fun with it, but there are some great bunches of grapes under here. And let's see if I can get in there. There we go. Just everywhere. Just thriving. And it's my understanding that this grapevine is about 70 years old. Let's step back a little bit so you can see. And again, it's just been well maintained and cut back. Obviously, you could make it just take over, you know, and trellis it as much as you wanted, which as we go I might do. And then this area here in between the grapes and the chicken coop, this is where the garden will be, hopefully next year, you know, because we really want to beautify that other space on the other side of the creek. Not that this won't be pretty too, but when you think of coming out to Lavender Creek and sitting and enjoying the gardens and just relaxing with your friends. Want something a little prettier than a vegetable garden. We want some flowers and just all kinds of ideas that we have. But that's kind of a little tour of what's going on. Everything's going great. The apple trees are going good, and super excited about all the beauty that we have. Here, maybe I'll show you my face this morning. Yep, there it is. Alright guys, have a wonderful day. 4th of July coming up, and I'm taking the week off to enjoy being out here and with family. Alright, Amanda, see you later.